Hello again, my happy little podheads. Today we are finally going to get into WINisd and how to use it to plan out your stereo system. First thing we need to do is we need to input the speaker parameters into WINisd. How do we do that? You can either A, go to the manufacturer's website, find the speaker that you have, and see if they have the parameters that you are interested in. Some of them do. DS18 is pretty good at having all their stuff. A lot of companies do not have the information. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Dayton audio test system, my DATS, to collect that information to make sure that we have the most accurate and most comparable data for all the speakers. After you get your leads hooked up, measure free air parameters, and then we will add 10 grams of butyl rubber to the cone as centered as possible. Do that, and then make sure it's entered here, 5.5¼ inches from outside of surround to inside of surround, and 10 grams of added mass, measure VAS. Yes. Very good. So now we go back over here to WINisd, DS18. DS18, this is the Pro ZXI 6.4 BM. Now we go here to parameters, so we will enter the QES 0.8271, skip over the QMS, it will be auto-calculated to the QTS 0.7386. FS is 196.5. VAS now is 2.875. Put the MMS in 6.253 and the RE 3.342. Now the XMAX is a little bit more difficult. You'll have to get that from the manufacturer's website. So if we go here, find the right speaker first. There are ways to measure it, but I don't recommend it. XMAX 7.2, so we will put that information in there as well. 7.2. Right. Now we will save that. Everything should be good. I've got a bunch of these already loaded in, but I'm going to... I don't have this one loaded in though, so it should be good. And don't forget to put the LE value in. This is kind of an important one. A lot of manufacturers don't include it. But for our purposes, and that's another reason I'm using the DATs, is I'm going to get that information. That shows where the high-end roll-off is. 0.03714. Okay, and then we'll save. Save it, overwrite it. Okay, so now what we'll do is we can create a new project using the speaker that we just entered in. So that was the DS18 Pro ZXI 64BM, one driver, closed, 0.8 equal ripple response. We will use that same alignment just to make sure we have apples to apples and bananas stuff. All right, so what we are looking at here is we are looking at the SPL level. Let's make sure that we use 5 cubic foot box because that is the point at which we have determined equals an infinite baffle, so we can compare that to how it's going to sound in our door. Okay, very good. So if we look at this SPL graph, it shows that this speaker will be putting out 96 decibels or 95 decibels at 530 hertz, and it starts rolling off about, where is that, 400 hertz starts rolling off. So this is not a mid-bass driver. Mid-bass is going to be in the range, I say around the range of 100 hertz. That's where I want to see it peak. Okay? And start to roll off at 100 hertz. Now, what's interesting to note is that if we put in the RMS power for this speaker, 300 watts, it brings the output up to 120 decibels, which is bananas. Okay? But what we need to check is we need to check the cone excursion. We need to make sure that at that power level, it does not exceed its mechanical limit. Because once it reaches Xmax, the cone is no longer in control by the amplifier, by the signal, and that's where distortion happens. Anything above that, if you run it outside of Xmax, then you're going to damage your speaker and blow stuff up. Bad things happen. So what's interesting about this speaker is that even at 300 watts, it does not theoretically exceed its X-max. So let's look at another speaker. Let's see if we can find one that does exceed X-max. I believe the hybrid audio, which is way out of everyone's price range, but just for the sake of investigation and all that. So we will do this one in blue, and we will increase this one to 100 watts. So notice that even at 100 watts, this speaker will start to break its X-max at 80 hertz. So how do we fix that? One thing you can do, just for sake of saving your speakers, is you need to add a high-pass filter to prevent it from playing anything below that 80 hertz. So we will do a 50 hertz high-pass filter, Riley. So what that does is it prevents the speaker from exceeding that X-max, and that keeps the speaker safe. And what does that do for the SPL? Very good question. So if we turn the filter off, it of course it limits the output, but your speaker is safe and you're going to limit the actual distortion. So another thing that is interesting to note about this graph is that I only have an output of 104 decibels. The other thing that's awesome to note is that it starts rolling off just about 100 hertz. So this is more of a mid-bass speaker and will give you a better mid-bass response and sound much nicer at lower frequencies than the DS18. But here we will notice that the hybrid audio at 100 watts only puts out 104 decibels, where the DS18 at 300 watts puts out 120 decibels, or 118 decibels. So I want a louder system. Okay, great. You can either get the DS18, throw 300 watts at it. It's going to be really loud. Will it be distorted? Very, very, very possibly, yes. We're going to test that later with the speaker testing stuff to show how distortion changes as you increase the power. Okay? I feel fairly confident saying that a speaker like a hybrid audio Legadia L65 is going to be very, very low distortion level at its RMS rating. So how do we increase the output of a very nice speaker like that without increasing distortion? What we'll do is we will make another setup identical to the same one. Okay, look at that, change the line to green. Make sure the box is the right size, same size box. Signal, we will make sure the signal is the same, 100 watts. And then we will put the same filter in as well to make sure that we are doing apples to apples and bananas to bananas. Butterworth, Riley at 50 hertz. Okay. So now we have the exact same line. How do I increase the power or the output level without increasing distortion? Two ways you can do it. Well, there's only one way you can do it. To increase the output, you can either add more power. Okay. So I put 200 watts. I have doubled the power. So what I have done at our 200 hertz range, I have gone from 104.4 decibels to 107.4. By doubling the power, I have added 3 decibels, which is the correct thing. That's how that works. Double power, you add 3 decibels, right? But what that's going to do by doubling the power is you're going to increase the distortion. So how do we increase output without increasing distortion? Add more speakers. That's where custom speaker pods is the way to go. Simply by adding another speaker at the same wattage, we have done identically the same thing. We have gone from 104.4 to 107. We have added 3 decibels. By adding a second speaker, you add those 3 decibels, you double the output power without adding distortion. That's what we're getting at. That's what we're doing. So now that I've showed you how to add a speaker into WINisd and how to model it correctly, how to add more power or more output without adding distortion, we can go ahead and model a full system. All right, where do we start? A lot of people don't know where to start. But when you're buying a car stereo system, what's the first thing you do? Oh, I want subwoofers. All right, cool, subs. Let's go ahead and model a subwoofer. We'll go to the Sundown Audio website simply because I know that they have some box designs that have been drawn up by Drew Jones. So if we go here, we have an enclosure design. So what we'll do is we will add the TS parameters, just same way, creating a new speaker in WINisd. Right, so single vented enclosure. We'll just keep that. Now for the box, we can go over here. There we go. So net size after displacement box is 1.76 cubic feet. Tuning frequency based on the port 32.75. Right, vent, we will make sure that the vents are the same just for fun. Port size width 2, 0, and 13. Inch 32.76. Perfect. Okay. There is our subwoofer. Now, how much power can we put to that subwoofer? We can put, it doesn't say, but 1,000 watts. 1,000 watts to that subwoofer. So we will go signal, we will go 1,000 watts. All right, so there is our subwoofer. Now, just to make sure, we'll go to cone excursion. Can see that the X max is low. So now we have our subwoofer modeled. Subwoofer shows 116 decibels at its maximum peak of 36 hertz. So how do we want to design the rest of the system? Do we want everything to be at 116 decibels the whole way across? Yes and no. It's not necessary because what you can do is you can actually turn the volume down on your subwoofer to match everything else. Right? So for example, if we wanted to use the hybrid audios, they have a very nice crossover point, and it would match the subwoofer crossover point at 106 decibel or 93 hertz, and that right there where they cross over would give you a very nice response. Okay, whereas for the DS18, if we turned that one down to match the hybrid audio, you have this huge gap right here, which would be a very large gap in the sound. Right? If you're listening to Young Gravy, you wouldn't hear his voice at all right here, because that's where his voice is. His voice is very low. And it just wouldn't be a good sounding system. Okay? Could I turn the volume up on that one? And then, oh yeah, well that line crosses there now. Okay, well then everything else up here is going to be really, really loud. You're not going to hear your sub. It's just going to sound awful. Okay? So, that is where we are. So enjoy. There will be more to come. I am still learning all of this, but these are the very basics that I know so far. As I learn more and understand fully how to do this whole thing, I'll create another video and we'll go forward with it. But leave some comments and stuff. Let me know if I did anything wrong, right, if this is even worthwhile. Does anyone care about what I'm doing? I think it's important. I think it's fun. But that's about it for this one. So appreciate y'all watching. Please.